The Tallboy Experience.
My name is Charlie Singleton, and I'm from the group Cameo. And if you want the experience, there's only one way you're going to get it, and that's through Tallboy. He's bringing it high, low, side to side. It's coming right at you.
If you want the exclusive, you want the Tallboy, because he's going to bring you the exclusive.
Well, actually, I live here. I'm not here much, but I do live here. I've been here actually since '81. Moved here from New York with the guys who were based out of Cameo, meaning the guys who were based out of New York. And we just kind of came down here because it was uncharted territory and decided to set up shop. And here we are. At least here I am. I started when I was in middle school. It was always an interest, you know. I come from a very rich culture, Louisiana, very broad between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, you know, where music is really it for everybody. A lot of different styles. And I heard a little of everything coming up. Just decided that that's what I wanted to do. James Brown was a big influence, but also other artists like Krypton Chenier. But I think the artist, I should say, that probably had the biggest influence on me, believe it or not, were the Beatles, because they were actually out there doing something a little bit different. And that's I was just a young boy, but that's what got me started, got me interested, and I never turned back. Actually, I played a number of instruments. I mean, I actually went to college on a French horn scholarship, so I studied classical music and eventually ventured into jazz. Guitar was just one of those things that was just fun. You know, I really wanted to be a classical musician, but I also was realistic in knowing that me getting into a symphony was was some kind of pipe dream. You know, just not impossible, but close to impossible, because those are gigs that musicians try and maintain for a lifetime. So in order to get one of those seats, you virtually have to wait until someone dies, and then you have to stand in line. Different things. I went through a few different phases, you know. Jazz fusion, I think these guys heard about me through my guitar work, through a famous drummer that I used to perform with jazz fusion. And I did that for a number of years. And all musicians sort of kind of pick up on certain things, you know, that type of music. And I think that's where they heard me from. But I was actually performing in Baton Rouge doing a commercial scene when they were performing in town and came through and actually heard me play. And from that point, I got an offer from them. The mask is interesting because I decided to create a brand. Cameo had been together for a while. I've been doing solo things for quite a few years and decided that I wanted another way for people to sort of remember me that would be timeless. So I created this caricature of this sort of like gothic superhero musician. And it took a minute, but over time it took off, and now more people actually know me as the Phantom more than they actually know my name. So, but the good thing about it is that the character itself is timeless. People tend to age you after you've been in the business for 30 years or so, plus. Well, this I can taper into any form, any fashion, for as long as I need to, and eventually come out of it and start anew. Probably the most memorable places I performed was not with Cameo. It's when I was starting out, you know, when everything was new and fresh, and I was still in awe of everything. We had this jazz quartet when I was in college, and we actually opened up at Carnegie Hall for Donny Hathaway. And of course, I never had a chance to meet him. But just being on the show with him and being in New York for the first time and doing that kind of thing, I felt like I died and gone to heaven. So that was probably my proudest moment. Be true to yourself. I mean, a lot of copycats, and that always happens in generations. But the difference between what's happening now and happening in the 80s is that 80s we had an identity. You know, there were actual writers and producers and artists who weren't afraid to experiment and be themselves. I don't see a lot of that today. At least I don't see a lot of it. Not to say that it doesn't exist. There's still a lot of good musicians out. But just keep thriving. Know that it's not going to be easy. Know that the world is, but also know that the world is yours and anything is possible. I know most people just say, I just want to be remembered. You know, that's good. But you also want people to remember you for your body of work, for the influences that you've, had on people, the way you've lived your life, you as a person. And but as an artist, you want to be remembered and highly respected as a musician and as an artist. You know, so there are different ways I'd like to be remembered. Oh, wow. Stevie Wonder. I think he's phenomenal. Big influence. I'm a huge fan. I think some of the things that he does musically is just unsurpassed. And I've been listening to him since I was a little guy. I've had the pleasure of meeting him and kind of hanging out with him a little bit. Really don't know him, but I was just in awe. You know, the fact he was asking me questions and I was speechless. And the next thing you know, my time was up. But yeah, Stevie Wonder. Wow. Well, it was sort of like a lot leading into that. It started out with, that sound actually started out with the Alligator Woman album. And sort of graduated with the whole guitar punk rock kind of thing. And then gradually sort of evolved and morphed into, with the different things from Single Life to you name it, albums in between. And eventually, by the time we did Word Up, that was the sound. And we just kind of threw a lot of things, different sounds and different things out there. That's what we came up with. It was sort of new to the public. Radio wasn't really jumping on it because it was something different than what we normally do. So we basically got behind it, put our own money behind it, and promoted the record. And the minute it hit the airways, it took off. Proved everybody wrong. So yeah, it's like that sound, and of course we're all a part of it. But I think I introduced something new to the group that they hadn't done before. You know, obviously they had hit records before, and they were going to continue to have different records, hit records. We just sort of took a different angle. I pretty much said it all. You know, I love what I do. I'm going to continue doing this till I can't do it anymore. I do it on my terms. I don't do it for anyone else but myself. And it's not about the money. The key is finding something you love to do and then figuring out how to make money at it or make a living. I have kids. A life. When I wake up in the morning and know that I'm healthy, and happiness really depends solely on me and how I conduct myself in the course of whatever I'm going through. But I have lots of sorts of motivation. I mean, I kind of maybe look at things a little bit different and appreciate certain things that probably most people take for granted. I've gone through a lot. I had a hard life growing up. And so I know what to compare it to. So I'm motivated every day to live longer, to do better, and to be better. I've been fortunate. I've got a lot of people, a lot of broad scope, wide demographic, from different races, creeds, religions, who believe in what I do. You know, I try not to be offensive in my music. And I try not to do one type of thing. I try and do something that caters to everyone. So I thank everyone who supported me over the years, and I hope you continue to do so, and I will continue doing my best.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing It's like a brand new feeling in a special way. A short flight back on the right. Just can't do without you. But we get down, always turn the place out. So shake your hands and you can get our thing out. That back in the
Think big, think tall, think tall boy.